Hey guys, Britta Albert here. If this is your first time here, I am a transformational life coach, and my goal for this channel is to help you overcome the obstacles that are standing in the way of you living your best and most authentic life. Also, if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notification button so that you never miss out on a future video. I want to give a little shout out to Featured Outside, who actually hit me up on Instagram and created this awesome little subscribe decal for me. So thank you so much. I know you said I didn't need to give you any kind of shout out, but I just thought that was the coolest thing, and I really appreciate it. So because of the effort and the work that they put in to make that icon for me, please do them a favor and subscribe to my channel. I'll put a link down below so you can find them on Instagram, and do them a favor and follow them as well. Now in today's video, we're going to talk about not judging other people's choices. So everything in life is a choice. That's a pretty bold statement. And I know there are going to be some people who want to take it to the extremes. Why do we always jump to the extremes when we're given the opportunity to re-examine our belief systems? Something about re-examining our belief systems makes us very, very uncomfortable inside. And even if we know that our belief systems aren't serving us or anybody else, sometimes our belief systems flat out just don't make sense. There are belief systems that we're currently rooted in, and it's really hard to let them go. So a lot of times you'll find people will really struggle when they're faced with an opportunity to re-examine them. And they might become defensive in terms of even examining them at all. So when I say that everything is a decision, what does that mean? That literally means everything. Now, again, there are some things that could be deemed as uncontrollable, such as genetics. Ha! So, you're wrong then. You don't choose. Well, again, that's where the other perception comes from. If you believe that you chose to come into this body, that you chose to be this person, that you chose your parents, you chose their genetic makeup, you chose to come to the earth at this time, that you are an eternal being currently having a human existence and a human experience, then yes, you also chose your biology. Now, if you're not somebody who believes that, then you might want to stop watching this. That's okay. There are many other things out here on YouTube that will resonate with you. Or if you're curious and you don't know what you think, there's nothing wrong with that too. Hearing that, if that triggers you, let me ask you this. Why do you think that choice equals fault? Because I've never said it's somebody's fault, nor that they deserve it. So if you are feeling triggered that your choices, whether agreements made before you came here or choices and decisions made along the way, are that person's fault, then what is it about you that is being reflected at this moment? What judgments do you have towards other people or towards yourself that's triggering you in this moment? Because again, I reiterate, I never once said fault, and I never once said anybody deserves suffering. So we can choose. We choose our outlooks all the time. We choose the clothes that we wear. We choose the color of our hair. Or we choose not to color our hair. Not making a choice is also a choice. No matter what you do, whether you refuse to choose something or you make a decision, both are a choice. Now, to go into the not fault and not deserving suffering, be very careful how you judge other people's decisions, because you have no idea what they came here to experience or why. I ask you, and I challenge you, find somebody who is a master on this earth, who has achieved the status of master or mastery in anything that they've done, whether they are a master yoga instructor, whether they have their master's degree, whether they are a master at photography or a master at video game design or a master at public speaking. It doesn't matter. Anybody in mastery, I challenge you, show me somebody who is in mastery, who has gotten there with no suffering. The things that we go through, they shape who we are. And the choices that we have are we can choose to be the victim or we can choose to be the victor. And sometimes we have to choose both, but at different times. Because you can be in the midst of a situation and you can fully experience that situation and be a victim. And then as you grow older and you grow more wise, you look back at the decision and you see where you changed your mind and you refuse to be held down and stay in that place of victim anymore. But in order for you to get the lesson that you needed to, the emotion that you felt within that time had to be authentic. You had to believe the situation that was going on at that time. If you entered into that situation of pain and suffering, whether it was a relationship or whether it was a situation at work or whether it was family, it doesn't matter. Whatever was happening in that situation of suffering where you felt that you were the victim, if you were entering into that as the victor, what lesson would you have gleaned from that? Nothing. It wouldn't have fazed you. You would have removed yourself from that situation because you would have had the wisdom to do so. You would have had the ability to do so. Say, in the situation of child abuse, a child is coming up and they're powerless. They can't leave the household, or they feel like they can't leave the household. They feel like they can't reach out for help. They might not know that help is available to them, or they might live in a country where it's not seen as something bad, or an area where there is no help. Thankfully, that's fewer and fewer between, but that kind of suffering still exists in our world at this moment. So what for that child? In that moment, they don't have the ability to defend themselves. So in that moment, they are the victim. That is real. But we expect that as that child grows, that they would choose mental health. They would choose a path of healing. They would choose to become stronger for it. And many do. Not everybody does, though, and that's their choice. But would you say that that child chose to be in that situation? That's where you can't judge the situations people have. You have no idea what their agreements were before they came here and why they needed to go through what they went through. Now, is that to say you turned a blind eye on a child who is suffering? Or you don't help somebody who is in need? Absolutely not. You get to choose how you feel about that. And if you feel enraged, that is good. That is your choice. The more people who are in agreement with the way that you feel about this situation is what is needed to raise the vibration of this earth, to have it more heart-centered. Would you believe me that there was once a time where people were not as heart-centered as they are today? And that it took great atrocities within generations of our family's lifetimes that they witnessed to wake people up and get them on the same page. Think back just as recently as World War II. How many of our families are still recovering from the scars of World War II? So what was going on right before World War II? What suffering was going on in the world that there was a blind eye to? And the atrocities that happened through that war enraged people so much that there became a world war. There were people protecting themselves from other forces. There were forces trying to take over. I don't need to explain how the war went. If you look at it from the spiritual side, there was something that needed to shift. And the only way to shift that was millions of people who were in agreement that they did not remember. But before they came here, they all made an agreement to participate in this thing and sacrifice to shift where we were and to bring everyone more heart-centered. Now, if that's too hard to wrap your mind around, for those who are in the United States, I invite you to think back to 9/11. Let's go much more recent. What was the state of the country at that time? Arguably, you can say that it was better off than it is now, worse off than it is now. I guess it depends on your political standpoint, but it doesn't freaking matter. What happened right after Everybody had flags on their car. I know because I lived in Oregon and we were in Florida on vacation and we were supposed to fly home on September the 12th and all the planes were grounded. We had to drive across the country from Florida to Oregon and thank God we were safe. But I got to see this country, a lot of this country on that drive. And what I saw, y'all, was brotherly love. I saw people united. I saw people who were enraged. I saw people who were scared. But I saw people who chose love. And I didn't see a division of race. I didn't see a division of political parties. I didn't see a division of class, of gender. I saw people standing together. So remember, don't judge people for certain things that they choose to go through or experience in this life. But also, you get to choose your reaction just as much. You get to choose how you feel about things. You get to choose love. And the more that suffering enrages us, the better this earth is. The more we don't tolerate suffering, the better this planet is. Do you see? Do you see how it all plays together? How everything is a choice? Something as small as, what are you going to eat today? What time are you going to go to bed tonight? What time are you going to wake up tomorrow? What clothes are you going to wear? How are you going to react to the traffic on the way to work? How are you going to react to your kids making a mess in the house that you just cleaned? How are you going to react to the news being broken to you that somebody in your family just passed away in an accident? How are you going to react to the news that your neighbor who's been trying for years to get pregnant is expecting? Life is full of beautiful choices. Don't judge people's choices and embrace your own. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that this video inspired you. And if nothing else, I hope that this video offered a different perspective from the way that you see people and the way that you see the world. I treasure y'all so much. And again, if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. And also share this video with somebody that you think this video could resonate with. You can only grow this channel with the help of everybody here, and I appreciate y'all so much. So please, like this video, subscribe, and share it with somebody, and help us grow this community together. Right here, you're gonna see a video that YouTube recommends for you based upon your search history. Right here, you're gonna see a little circle with my face. If you hit that circle, you'll be subscribed to this channel. I'll see y'all next time.